Welcome to the Baseball Together podcast, baseball family. For those of you new to the show, we are here to raise money for the nonprofit organization called UP, whose mission is to give disadvantaged young ball players the equipment they need to play the game we all love. We also want to unite communities by improving or rebuilding baseball facilities in areas suffering economic or environmental hardship. At this time, you can support by purchasing t-shirts and other baseball-related apparel and accessories from 9plusus.com. 10% of all sales go directly to the cause. Again, that's 9plusus.com. That's the number 9, PLUSUS.com. 9plusus.com. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Baseball Together podcast, brought to you by 9plusus. Thank you for joining us this week on the Baseball Together podcast, baseball family. I am Brad, and I am joined, as usual, by Brig.
What's up, baseball family?
All right, we've got a lot of current events that we want to go over, that we want to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into it and get started. The first thing that I saw this week, and I'm still not entirely sure what to think of it or how to take it, was stealing of first base. Now, this is pretty complex, Brig. So let's kind of break this down for people who aren't quite sure how this works. I'm not sure if I'm sure how this works yet, even though we've gone through and looked at it, talked about it a little bit. So here's the rule right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Or, well, first let's do this. Let's give a little bit of background first.
Yeah, let's do the
we'll
context. Yeah.
So, in the Atlantic League, what we refer to as the circus, the independent league,
The guinea pig league.
The guinea pig league, where Rob Manfred has partnered to basically pilot some rules that he wants to test out. And this was a game between the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and the Lancaster Barnstormers. A couple of solid team names there.
Yeah, super solid.
In the bottom of the sixth inning, on the first pitch of the half inning, the runner took first base, stole first base. And I'm not saying that out of context or oddly, because based on the rule, he straight up stole first base.
Yeah,
okay?
he did.
Now,
savage. We'll get into that.
Savage. Yeah, we will. So let's get into the rule here a little bit.
Okay.
So I have this article up on Yahoo Sports right here that has a kind of a breakdown of the rule.
Yeah.
So everybody get ready for this. The rule is, this is quoting, the rule is, the batter base runner may steal first base on any pitch not caught in flight. So basically, it's the drop third strike rule widened to seat belt extender size. The defensive play at first base is a force. So that's just like on the drop third strike, same thing.
Yep.
The batter can turn into a base runner, can run to first. The catcher can throw to first and get him out. It's a force out. So same kind of thing there. And this is where it gets really complicated. The batter must have both feet out of the batter's box and have made an affirmative move toward first to be considered in the act of stealing the base. This is the umpire's judgment. Just what we need. More judgment calls for the home plate umpire.
Whoa. That was last week, Brad.
This is where I think it gets kind of fun, though. Any runners on base are at that point in play as well. Meaning, for example, an existing runner at first may be forced out at second base. Also, the batter base runner must commit before the first defensive player fields the ball. So, once the catcher picks up the ball, you can't run.
Unless you've committed previous to that.
Yes, unless you previously committed to run.
Right.
So, this is kind of a complex rule. And I think if you just think of it this way, basically, wild pitch. Let's go back to a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the All-Star game. I brought up, and I misspoke about the whole Kruk Randy Johnson thing. What happened in that situation was Randy Johnson threw the ball over Kruk's head, and then later Larry Walker came up with his helmet flipped around.
Yeah.
So anyways, Randy Johnson throws the ball over John Kruk's head. The ball goes to the backstop. because the ball was not caught in flight, correct?
Correct.
Could have run to first base.
Correct.
Because of that. And that's what happened here. This was a ball not caught in flight. Guy took off and got on first base.
On an 0-1 pitch.
Yes.
So there were 0 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah. Got on first base. It wasn't a dropped third strike. Let's be clear with that. That is not a dropped third strike.
Nope. It went all the way to the backstop.
Guy got on base. So, Brig, while I collect my thoughts, what do you think about this whole thing?
It's madness. This is madness. I am amazed, first of all. Like, shout out to this Tony Thomas is his name. He's the first player in professional baseball history to steal first base. So shout out to Tony Thomas, okay? This
go down in history.
Yes. This guy wants to win so bad, right? He's proven himself so hard that he studied this stupid rule and knew exactly when to implement it and was ready. He was ready. He's like, how am I going to win? How am I going to take this rule? How is it going to apply to me, and how am I going to use it to win? That's my kind of guy. I like that guy.
He even said after the game, he said, I knew at the time of the game we needed base runners. I love it. Get on base, man.
Get on base. Look, that's all I keep talking about. That's my thing. Just
get
on base.
Both of us just get on base, yeah.
This is a small ball game, man, and this is a small ball opportunity. All right, so I love this opportunity that he took advantage of. I don't care for the rule, I should say. I think it's a weird rule. I think it'll get implemented like once a million years, right? And these weird opportunities. But maybe it'll be heads up baseball, and if it ends up in the major leagues, we'll end up like cheering guys on. I don't know. Get a lot of pass balls in the major leagues.
Yeah, and one thing that is kind of funny about it to me is that, like it says, if the ball's not caught in flight, so I don't know. It doesn't go into detail if it's like like straight up pass ball or wild pitch, as far as the ball is in the dirt and it gets past the catcher,
right?
But if the ball gets past the catcher in flight, a lot of the backstops now, like I know in Minnesota, they have like limestone back there.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the ball's in flight and it hits that, it's going to come right back to the catcher.
Pretty quick.
So it may seem like a no-brainer ball's by the catcher, I'm taking off. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that ball comes back, you're toast.
Totally. Well,
especially if it gets by and it's 2-0 now. Like, do you really want to risk that? So it does take a little bit of thinking on the batter's part. So I think that part is actually kind of cool, but the rule in general is kind of strange.
Yeah. No, I think it's
just because you're ending the at bat prematurely, and it's so weird.
Yeah,
so weird.
But it is another small ball opportunity, and I like that. Look, like I've said before, Gary Sanchez, circa 2016 and 17, and some of 18, like perfect opportunity to steal first base against that guy. But at the same time, like the rule, like you said, the rule doesn't state so. You got a guy who's bouncing him off home plate, maybe a little bit in front of home plate. What does that do, right? Does that negate the in-flight clause of that rule? I don't know. We need to call somebody in who's an expert on this stupid rule. That's hilarious. I don't think it's that bad. I just like making fun of it.
Yeah, I do think it's a strange rule. I think it could add a new wrinkle that could be fun.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the World Series, the winning run gets on base because of some crazy wild pitch?
You sold me.
That would be something else.
I'm now in favor of the rule. Because I can see a speed demon like Brett Gardner or even Jose Altuve, right? These guys are fast, and they could do some serious damage with an opportunity like that. Like really could do damage.
And I wonder if it'll bring back the old thing. You fake a bunt and you wave the bat in front of the plate, and then you swipe it back in front of the catcher's face.
Yeah.
You don't see that much anymore.
No.
I wonder if it would bring it back. And honestly, as a catcher, I never thought it affected me because I so focus on the ball anyway.
Yeah.
But you might see it.
You might. I don't know. But those are old school techniques that I really like. So I don't know.
Yeah.
This is some hustle.
Yeah.
From Tony. We're sending Tony a T-shirt. Gotta find a way to send him a T-shirt.
All right. Speaking of strange things and mentioned umpires a little
Hey,
bit. Uh, let's let's talk about this kind of this funny thing that happened this week with Aaron
yeah,
Boone. Now, I didn't watch the game. Were you watching the game? I know you're a big Yankees
yeah, I
fan.
was.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay, so what exactly led to this outburst by Aaron Boone? Why don't you give us a little bit of background on that?
basically a ton of weird strike calls that were outside the
Mm-hmm.
zone, mostly like away, not inside, but away. And I saw a diagram the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up. But I saw a diagram that showed his inconsistency at the plate, the umpire.
This this rookie
Yeah,
umpire.
okay, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. So the guy made his professional debut, his major league debut as an umpire on April 20th, 2019. So the guy is brand new at this. And
He looks brand new too.
yeah,
He didn't look like he was any older than I am.
nope, he probably isn't. But anyway, that's what happened. So lots of chirping from the Yankee dugout. Aaron Boone, or excuse me, Brett Gardner is up to the plate and gets called third strike. That was not even close. I mean, it was abysmal, and it was up and outside. So there's chirping. It's actually hilarious. If you get online, you can look up Brett Gardner banging his bat against the
Oh yeah,
ceiling of the
yeah,
dugout.
yeah. Take a look at that because you see Aaron Boone yelling at the umpire, and Gardner's in the background just banging his bat against like he's yelling at the upstairs neighbors.
Yep, it is so funny. It's so funny.
That
I
was the best part of the whole thing. I thought that tantrum that Gardner was throwing in the background.
Look, Gardner throws some mad tantrums, and they're awesome. And he's never without cause, right? Like the one thing about Brett Gardner is it's always justifiable. Not that a tantrum should be justifiable, I guess, but he brings this dynamic to the game where, of the last few months, he's been especially uh, outbursty. He doesn't do it until he gets back to the dugout, but when he gets back there, it's epic. Anyway, so not David Ortiz epic yet, but maybe we're headed that way. So that's pretty cool. For those of you who are new to baseball, David Ortiz once made mincemeat out of a call box inside the dugout. And if you haven't seen that video, it's worth maybe 4 or 5 iterations of your time. It's fun to watch. Anyway, so Aaron Boone is chirping, and again, chirping just means he's throwing calls out at the umpire from the dugout, calling him out, telling him to bear down, telling him to improve his calls in creative ways,
and tighten it up.
tighten it up. Yeah, tighten up your game.
No,
The umpire's name is Brennan Miller. Sorry, we gotta out you, but Brennan Miller is the umpire. And eventually, Brennan Miller, he just tosses Boone. You can see him pull his mask off and throws a finger in the air, which is the indication that you're out of here, right? You're gone. So then Aaron Boone gets his money's worth, right? And he rushes out of the dugout and puts himself directly in front of Mr. Miller's face and starts giving it to him. Now the transcript is what's especially fun to watch, unless you're averse to the F-bomb, and then you don't want to watch it
yeah, that's
because
true.
Aaron
Yeah.
Boone, he uses it a lot, but it's so funny because he comes out, and I'll just tell you what he said. He said, "My guys are effing savages in that effing box, right?" And he's yelling this at the guy, and he says, "And you're having a piece of crap, right? Piece of crap start to this game. I feel bad for you, but effing get better. Say our guys are effing savages in that box." So he says, "Tighten it up right now." And it was like this weird, almost like if you were ever in the military, like I was in the Army for a long time, this is like a normal mentorship moment, right? This is like this is how it goes.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, he's kind of encouraging him, right? Like you're better than this.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, or at least you can be, right? You could be better than, and we expect you to be, and you need to be better than this. And he's right, and you could see the umpire's face. He's looking at Boone, and he's nodding, and he's saying, "Yep, yep." And you can see he's taking it, but he's also agreeing, like, "Yeah, you're right. I got to tighten this up." So that's what happened. It really was epic, but I think to your point, Brad, that he really was encouraging him, and he's saying what he's saying is true. These Yankees, man, it's like murderers row all over again. And I know we talked about it like it would be last season, but not like this season. We're on pace. These guys are on pace to like shatter last season's home run record. So that's what happened. I feel strongly about it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, well, and to go back to what we were talking about last week, and granted, it was entertaining as hell. I'll give you that, because
Yes.
I loved watching it. I was laughing the whole time. But this whole thing wouldn't have happened if we had a robot umpire back there. So,
Oh, geez, Brad. Look, you're right. But think of the exposure. Think of it. This is good for baseball. I hate to say it. I hate to say that this kind of negativity, if you will, is good for baseball, but it is. Think this has gone viral in within minutes. This went viral. Okay, it's got thousands and thousands of shares on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It's all over the place. Me and everybody else, we're designing T-shirts around this situation. Like, this is good for baseball, and with an electronic umpire, you don't get situations like this.
Yeah, and I want to know how good it really is, though. Like, yeah, you're designing T-shirts around it, and it goes viral and everything. But on the other hand, people are sick and tired of inconsistent officiating, right?
Of course.
You know, NBA fans are going to be like, more inconsistent officiating, more favoritism. Why on earth would I switch to baseball? You know, I get enough of that in the NBA. Like, my guys never get calls because every NBA fan feels like their team gets jobbed by the umpires, or by the umpires, by the referees. And if you're trying to convince them to come to baseball, then I don't think that's really the way to do it. I think if you were to say, yeah, they've got an electronic umpire system, so the strike zone is consistent and there's no favoritism either way. Oh, that's cool. You know, that's how I feel about that. But like I said, it was entertaining as hell to watch because I like Aaron Boone, and that was fantastic.
I'll tell you what. One thing people have been saying is if there's ever been any question about whether Aaron Boone is going to back his guys or not, here's your answer, right? But it boggles me that people are saying that, because we know he backs his guys. Like, this is just one in a million for him. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's also not out of character.
Right. Yeah. No, I never had any doubt about him backing his guys. To me, he's always a team guy. I mean, first off, he's a Boone, foremost. And second off, I mean, you know Aaron Boone. I mean, he's a Yankee. He's got that iconic home run in, what was that, 03?
Yep.
You know, yeah, no,
yeah, it was 03.
I never once. That was never once a question with me as far as him backing up his guys.
But it is for some people.
And I think that's strange.
Like, it is strange.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from.
Anyway, that's why I brought it up. I thought it was relevant for at least those people out there who are misinformed.
Well, speaking of strange things, let's go to this travel schedule business. So, the Astros are not happy with their second half travel schedule. I guess just their schedule in general. Manager AJ Hinch was saying it'll be brutal. It's one of those things that I hope they address in the next CBA. That's how bad he thinks it is.
Let me inject this. For those of you that don't know, the CBA is the collective bargaining agreement. That's the relationship between the Players Union, the Players Association, and Major League Baseball as a brand. They have to arbitrate the rules and the procedures, dictating the play of the game and the strains and expectations placed upon the players. So that's what the CBA is.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, the Astros are not happy about their travel schedule for the second half. And quite frankly, I don't care. I don't care what the Houston Astros have to say about it.
Yeah.
As somebody having grown up in the Pacific Northwest and been a Mariners fan my whole life, you don't have the Seattle Mariners travel schedule, and you never will.
Yeah.
So you can not complain about what you have, because you have the Rangers pretty much down the road from you. And you have Kansas City not far from you, and I understand that's the AL Central, but still, that's not too far, right? Yeah. And then it's a little ways to go to Anaheim and go to Oakland, but nobody puts more mileage on their plane than the Seattle Mariners in the course of a season.
Absolutely true.
So I don't want to hear from any team in the major leagues, I don't want to hear anybody complain about their travel schedule.
Even if you went to London.
Even if you went to
Because
London.
the Mariners
exactly
this season went to Japan. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm with you on this.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hear anybody complain about a travel schedule.
Yeah.
Because unless you're playing in Seattle, you have no room.
Right.
No room to talk.
Well, do you want to blow a raspberry really quick?
There it
I
is.
was waiting for that little exclamation point on the end of your argument. This is the only thing it was missing.
There it is.
Okay, so I agree with you, but I agree with you for different reasons. I care even less. I don't care if you're a Mariners fan and you want to complain about the travel schedule, like, great, that's fine. I don't want to talk about it. If you, it's simple. As most fans, and I'm talking most fans, and y'all get on the comments and tell me if I'm wrong, but most of us aren't even aware that there is wear and tear put on these players by traveling, right? Like, it's a product. We're here to be entertained. We don't think that deeply into the behind the scenes stuff, most of us. And I say us, like, I obviously think about it a little bit, but I would say most fans don't, and I lean on that side. And then on top of that, those of us who do follow that kind of stuff and do understand those nuances still don't care. Most of us.
And the reason I see it and understand it so much is because I do pay such close attention to the Mariners, and I've seen good and pretty good Mariners teams crap out at the same time every single year.
Of course.
Because of the travel schedule. May or June at the
April.
June at the latest, it seems like. In a good year, July.
Yeah. Man. No, I was teasing you. But
well, I'm saying good teams.
Yeah,
good
I was
Mariners
teasing
teams,
you, but
which few and far in between.
So it's true though. It's true. And this second half, sort of mid second half slump is a legitimate concern. So Denise Cantu, she's part of the group. She says that she's super cynical about this, and all she hears is wham, 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 which is very much how I feel. It super sucks, right? She says it sucks. Yes, absolutely. But okay, she's talking about last year's Chicago Cubs. Okay, they were hosed in their second half schedule when they had to play 41 games in 43 days, which included having to go to Washington, D.C. in the middle of a hurricane. And then they already had a packed week, and they sat through a rain delay. Nope, they didn't sit through a rain delay. They thought they were going to, but they didn't. So lots and lots of complaining, and the Brewers last season had 4 or 5 days off during that same period. Anyway, all of the north side of Chicago, all their fans, they all think that wah, wah, wah. This is the reason, or at least a contributing part of the reason, that they didn't go further last season. It's because of the schedule thing.
Yeah.
So the Astros, who are repeat appearance guys, wah, is what she says.
Yeah, and I think it's just another reason for people to not cheer for the Astros. So.
Okay, shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Sorry if we offended all you Astros. Well, if Brad offended all the Astros fans, I still love you. I still love you.
I love you. I just don't love your team.
Okay, I still love you and your team.
There's a distinction.
Okay,
there's a distinction.
Fine. You absolve yourself however you want. Oh my goodness sakes. Well, should we take a quick break before we jump into the next segment?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a quick break. I should probably recover.
All right, we'll come back. We'll be back in a minute.
The designated hitter. The infield fly. A ground rule double. The dropped third strike. To some, these seem like strange things. To you, these are just baseball things. Shop the Baseball Things collection at 9plusus.com.
Welcome back, baseball family. For the next part of this wonderful podcast episode, we are going to talk about this year's Hall of Fame inductees. And just for those of you that don't know, there are 4 members of this year's class. Mm-hmm. We have Edgar Martinez,
Yeah.
We have Roy Halladay. We have Mike Mussina. And we have Mariano Rivera.
Yeah. So
that's quite the group.
It is quite the group, and don't forget with Mariano Rivera, he's the first unanimous inductee
Ever.
ever. Like, think about that for a minute. Think about the guys who are in the Hall of Fame, who have been there. He's the first unanimous ever.
He's that means that everybody who votes said, and this is his first year eligible. Everyone that voted said, "Yep." We've been waiting.
There was somebody when Ken Griffey Jr. got inducted who said, "Now I'll vote for somebody else."
Yeah.
There was somebody when Babe Ruth got inducted who said, "Now I'll vote for somebody else."
Ty Cobb, Ted Williams.
Let that soak in for just a minute.
The list goes on and on.
And then look at Mariano Rivera, and everybody said, "This guy." That's a pretty big deal.
It's amazing. So I'm going to chirp and say the same. Let's start with Mo, okay?
Yeah.
Mo, for those of you that don't know, Mariano Rivera's nickname is Mo.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Sandman. He's the closer. Even guys today recognize that he's the closer. He will forever be the closer. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Yankees fan. He played for the Yankees from 1995 to 2013 for the same ball club, which is amazing, first of all.
Yep.
He had 652 saves, which is the most all-time. He has a 0.70 earned run average in 141 postseason innings. Wow. That's lowest. That's the lowest ERA, of any pitcher with at least 30 postseason innings on their, in their record. That's crazy. So that means that not only do these guys he's being compared to, not only are they the best of the best, and they have that much postseason experience, but they also have to have at least 30 innings of postseason experience, which is a lot for a closer.
Yeah, for a closer. That's the thing. That many innings for a closer.
And he maintained a 0.70 ERA. The minimum threshold is 30 innings. He's at 141 postseason innings. Now, he didn't get there himself, obviously. Right. But he sure did a lot with his opportunities once he got there.
Yes, he did. And do you know the story behind his Enter Sandman entrance song?
No.
I actually heard this today. We're recording on Friday for everybody. So I heard this today. Like I've said before, I listened to the Dan Patrick show, so I can't take credit for this research. But I was listening, and they were talking about this. And so what it was at the time, Trevor Hoffman had Hell's Bells, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Derek Jeter and I want to say Paul O'Neill, maybe not, I can't remember for sure. But they were kind of going for everybody to have their own walk-up songs.
Yeah.
And then the marketing team or somebody like the higher up said, Mariano Rivera, he needs an entrance song.
Yeah.
And they suggested, I can't remember what it was they suggested. It was a good one. I can't remember what it was offhand, but it was a good one. And the guys said, "How about Enter Sandman?" They said, "Well, you're gonna check with him?" He said, "No, we'll just play it." And so, because think about it, like he comes in, good night, it's over. That's it.
For sure.
And so they played it for the first 3 games. Like, well, are you gonna ask him? They're like, "No, it's going too well. Why would we wreck it now?"
Yeah.
And so it just went, and then it just kind of became the thing. And eventually somebody asked him, like, "Did you pick that song?" He says, "No, I don't even know who Metallica is."
Yeah. Exactly. So I think
that's so funny.
It is funny. I saw an interview with him that you can find. He's being interviewed a couple of months ago. I think it was in April or May, when the announcement was made. So it may have been February, but he gets interviewed on some talk show, and they got the guys from Metallica to record a video congratulating him. And he's like, It's not really my thing. I don't I don't really feel like, and he said this. He says, I don't really feel like as a Christian, like that kind of music isn't what I should be listening to. I was like, what? Did he just say that? I can't now, and I can't believe I'm regurgitating it. It was so shocking to me. But just to further your point, Brad, he's that far removed from from this decision. You know, he just doesn't even care. So he was born in Panama City, Panama, and he grew up playing with a piece of cardboard on his hand. This is the inspiration for a lot of what we've started doing here. So he grew up playing with a piece of cardboard on his hand, and it's just a folded up piece of cardboard. He'd slip his hand in through a little slit that he made in it, and he'd tape it up. And you can find this interview. It's incredible. And he held it out and he folded it up and put it in his pocket. And he said, I was so grateful to have a glove. So you play with a ball or a rock or whatever it is we had. And I always had something to protect my hand. And I was so grateful. I was like, whoa, holy moly. So this guy is amazing. Now, one more thing I want to tell you, which is the party line. I'm going to give you the party line, Brad.
Do it.
Fewer men in the history of the world have scored an earned run against Mariano Rivera in the postseason than have walked on the moon.
Yeah.
The numbers are 11 and 12. Think about that.
That is unreal.
Out of 141 postseason innings, only 11 guys have earned a run against him in the postseason, and 12 guys have walked on the moon.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I just give me chills every time I think about that.
That's something else. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, whoa, hold on. Hold the phone.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and that's legit. That is a real thing. Unbelievable.
It's special.
It is. Yeah.
He's recorded the final out of 4 World Series. The final out of the World Series 4 times. What? Who does this? Who is this guy that will go down in history as the greatest closer of all time?
With 1 pitch.
I know. 2. Well, he had 2, but he threw 1 most of the time.
Is that Cutter though? When I heard about and let me wrap up on him with this. I heard about that Cutter, and I've heard guys talking about this all week, that they say that, you know, I love pitching because, like I've said before, it's so deceptive to the eye. And, you know, they used to think that a curveball was an optical illusion, and I think the jury's still out about a rising fastball. We'll get to that another time.
Yeah.
With fastball. Another tease there. But that Cutter, guys say, you know what's coming, you know where it's going to go, but your hands will not cooperate with your brain. There's some kind of disconnect when that pitch is coming in, that your hands and your bat will not cooperate with what your brain wants them to do. So that's why guys can't hit it. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it breaks in a way that defies the laws of physics almost, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because everything in your brain is like, okay, it's going to be here. And then it's not. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
But it's unbelievable. And the guy, he created a career out of it, got to the Hall of Fame, and it just goes to show, if you can master a pitch and you can get 3 guys out at the end of the game when it matters.
Yeah.
Be the best at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next on the list, let's go to Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay.
Mm-hmm.
Played for the Blue Jays and the Phillies, was with the Blue Jays from 1998 to 2009, and from the Phillies from 2010 to 2013. Here's another guy. So this whole class, this whole Hall of Fame class, none of them were moving around a lot, and they were all on the same teams, like 1 or 2 teams forever. I love that.
Yeah.
They're franchise guys, you know?
Yep.
So Halladay, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, 2003 and 2010, one of only 2 pitchers to throw a postseason no-hitter. Now that is incredible.
That's next level to me.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand it.
I don't either. How do you follow it up?
That's unreal. Well, I mean, to me, that's almost like a mic drop.
It is.
Just okay, that's it. I'm done. No more. I don't need to do anything else. I've proven what I am to you guys.
Yeah,
That's what that feels like to me.
absolutely. One of only 6 modern era pitchers with at least 200 wins. He finished at 203, and at least a 650 win percentage. He finished at 659.
Yeah, that's something else. Well, and I remember when he was with the Phillies and that dominant Phillies team, and they had it was Halladay, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels when those guys were like at their peak.
Yeah.
And I remember just like that's like a guaranteed 3 wins a week.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 days you're winning, and then those other 2, you don't know, but you're probably gonna get a win or 2 out of those. Like, how do you even face that?
I don't know.
I mean, that's about. I feel like that's about as dominant as it gets, and it's unfortunate that he was in that plane crash and passed well before his time.
Yeah.
Because this was a moment that was waiting for him.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's not many guys who are as deserving as him, because not many guys were as dominant as he was for that long.
No, for
he
sure.
He was incredible for a long time. In Toronto when they were not very good, and
right.
Then he was the ace of the staff in Philadelphia. So,
one more statistic I'll throw at you, and I'm going to start from the bottom of this list, of which he sits atop. Number of complete games thrown in their career. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, CC Sabathia, who's an active player right now, sits at number 5 with 38 complete games. Next up, number 4 is Kurt Schilling. He has 49. Okay, number 3 is Livian Hernandez with 50. Number 2 is Randy Johnson with 54 complete games. Now let that sink in a minute. Here we have a list with Randy Johnson's name on it, okay?
Well, and that guy was a workhorse too.
Yeah, and he's in number 2 to Roy Halladay, who's in number 1 with 67 complete games in his career.
And he led the league 7 years in complete games.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, he was something else. That guy, incredible pitcher. Not many starters I feel like were more deserving of him, because he was in a field of his own, like a class of his own when he was pitching.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope that they can honor him the way that he deserves it this weekend.
I hope so. And we'll get into what the schedule is at the end of this segment. But let's move to Moose. Okay, Mike Mussina played for the Orioles from 1991 to 2000. It's a good long time. Then he played with the Yankees from 01 to 08. It's also a good long time. Here are some of the statistics we have on Mike Mussina. 270 wins. That's tied for 33rd most all time. All time. Okay. And is the most by any pitcher who debuted in 1990 or later. So everybody after 1990 has never reached 270 wins. Think about that.
And I don't know how often that's going to happen now either, with guys with shorter outings.
No,
either.
Totally. So,
well, and you think about it, the way that he got there. In 1992, that's his first full season. He won 18 games.
Which is crazy.
And then he never won fewer than 11. And then his last year in 2008, talk about going out on top at age 39, he won 20 games.
Wow.
20 games in 2008.
And he never won a Cy Young Award. Can you believe that?
I can't, because I thought that he did.
No.
Yeah, no, he never won one.
Never won a Cy Young Award. It's It's just crazy.
Yeah. And, there's guys who I've heard since he got elected who are like, I don't know if Mussina is a Hall of Famer. I always considered him a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than just watching him. And any time that he went up against the Mariners or a team that I was watching, I was like, oh, this is a win for Mussina.
Yep.
I just always considered him automatic.
Yep.
Because he is so good. Even in Baltimore, I considered him automatic.
First guy since Sandy Koufax to win 20 games in his final season, which was in 08. And which is what you said. He won 20 games his final season. Dude's 39 years old. That's crazy. It's crazy.
And still finished sixth in the Cy Young voting.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't
that was a decade of pitching, couple decades worth of the best pitching ever. So, still, he was the number 4 vote on the list this year, and we're glad he's in. Congratulations to him and his family. Okay, let's move on to Edgar Martinez. Your guy. I saved him for last for you. I saved him for last.
Yeah, so Edgar was one of the guys I grew up watching. Loved watching Edgar Martinez. I mean, if you wanted to learn how to hit, watch Edgar, because I don't know if you can because he's so good at it. Like learning how to play basketball watching Michael Jordan. It's the next level. So Edgar Martinez spent his entire career with the Seattle Mariners. He debuted in '87 and then retired in 2004. Good long career. 7-time All-Star. First time All-Star in '92. Last time All-Star in '03. At age 40.
Wow.
How good of a hitter. And that's really the thing too, is it was all hitting, because he was always considered he was always considered a defensive liability, and that's why he was a DH.
Yep.
Because he was not a great third baseman. Did not play well there. They stuck him at first base a little bit. Still didn't really work out. But man, the guy could hit.
Yeah.
The guy could hit. Has the single biggest hit in Seattle Mariners history. Double down the left field line to score Griffey from first to beat the Yankees in the ALDS in '95.
Oh my gosh. Would you quit touching my dark spot?
I'm going to bring it up as often as possible because it's the best moment in Seattle Mariners history.
And the announcer called it.
What's that?
And the announcer called it. Yeah, they were like, the only thing that could happen here is if he goes up the left field line, gets stuck in that corner, and then Junior can score from first. And I'm like, shut up. Why would you say that out loud?
That's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened. And you're right. It is the biggest hit in the franchise history, for sure.
And until there's something that's bigger and better that happens, I'm going to call back to it every moment I can.
So, okay. I got to tell you this. What did you have something else you wanted to say?
Well, there's a couple that I want to point out as far as batting average, because he was a big batting average guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pretty much count on him getting on base, but he was also this is one of the things I loved about Edgar, is he was a doubles guy too. Big time doubles guy. Led the league in doubles in '92 and '95 with 46 and 52 respectively. And those years he hit 343 and 356.
Wow.
So let's put this into perspective a little bit. So Ichiro, right, was an average guy.
Yeah.
But he was a speed guy. My dad always said that Edgar runs like he's mad at the ground.
Yeah.
Because he was not fast.
No, he's a lumberjack.
So Ichiro was a speed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ichiro was a speed guy, but Edgar, he'd put the ball right where it needed to be to get a double.
Yeah.
And so like watching Edgar Martinez and then watching Ichiro, it's like, yeah, he gets on base, but I'd rather have him on second because then he's in scoring position. Like, if you can get a leadoff guy who hit like that with that kind of speed, like, if I could like put those two together,
right,
that would have been like my perfect player.
1-2.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. But no, watching Edgar Martinez growing up, that was awesome, and I was really excited when he got voted in this year, because this was his last year of eligibility on the ballot.
Right.
This was going to be it. So I think the fact that he was such a defensive liability really hurt him with the voting, and there are some voters who are kind of anti-DH and I don't think it. I think if the outstanding DH award is named after you, like it is,
yeah,
you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, let's just throw that out there.
So. My 2 cents on that.
All right, so check this out. Let's put this DH crap to bed, okay? I'm gonna reinforce your point with some statistics from Edgar, okay? Check this out. Of all the guys who ever played baseball, okay, in professional baseball, who ended their career with an average over 300 career and an on-base percentage over 400, okay? Those are decent standards on their own. To have a career 300 batting average and a career 400 on-base percentage. Of those players that meet that threshold, there are only 10 guys in MLB history, to include Edgar Martinez, who have 300 or more home runs in their career, 500 or more doubles, and 1,000 or more walks.
There you go.
Now you think about that, right? Like that's everything that you just said, backed up by statistics. Like this guy, he was the DH guy. He did his job as well as or better than anyone else. We're talking there are 10 guys in the history of the game with numbers as good as his.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't why it took him so long to get in the Hall. I have no idea. And here's another stat that we talk about some that is incredibly, is relevant now that people use a lot is OPS.
Yeah.
Ready for his career OPS?
Oh my gosh.
933.
Oh my gosh. Career?
How about that? Career OPS of 933.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I gotta shake that off a little bit. Yeah. So this is fun for us. This is the most fun I've had at a Hall of Fame induction ceremony until next year. Now, I said that right.
Until next year.
Because
it just gets more and more fun every year because it's guys that we grew up with.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
That's why. Well, and next year it's going to be something magical. It'll be the second unanimous vote ever.
It could be.
Not to take anything away from Mo, absolutely. And he, well deserved being the first unanimous ever. But there will be another one next season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there will be. I know who it is too.
I know who you're talking about.
I got the guys on speed dial. We're talking about it already. Me and the Baseball Writers Association of America.
Stuffing the ballot.
Don't need to stuff this ballot. No,
you don't.
But yeah, this is getting more and more fun for us because these are the guys we grew up watching, and they're our heroes, and now our heroes get in the Hall of Fame. So we hope you enjoyed watching the ceremonies yesterday. In case you weren't sure, it was started at 1:30 p.m. and there you go. It was beautiful. Hopefully. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for us this week. Let's keep this one a little bit shorter because we are coming at you on Thursday with another half episode.
Very special half episode.
It is special.
So be sure to check us out Thursday. It'll be available for you same time Thursday morning. Same bat time, different bat day.
Yeah. Seriously. Be excited. We're bringing you something super special that we've never seen before, and you don't even know how to handle. I can hear it. All the way through the speakers.
On a delay.
See the shock on your face. But don't forget, everything we do is supporting charity. So we are working hard to get baseball equipment into the hands of kids all across America who cannot otherwise afford the opportunity to play baseball. They don't have cleats, they don't have gloves, they don't have whatever it is. And it is our mission to make sure that kids have the opportunity to play the game that we all love. You can make a donation right now by shopping at shop.9plusus.com. Everybody wins. Kids get baseball equipment. You get an awesome t-shirt or hat. And check out the designs. We have new team-specific color designs on the shop now. You can search through the catalog under the Big City series and then search for the team location: Boston, Minnesota, Anaheim, Texas, etc. Yeah. And then for you New York fans, search under Bronx and Queens. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's right. And the great thing about those designs specifically is that they are the same as the podcast logo. So not only are you supporting 9plusus, you're also supporting kids getting baseball equipment, but you're also supporting the podcast, and we appreciate that. So in addition to that, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, review. We appreciate reviews. Let us know how we're doing. And we've got another mailbag episode coming up. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, any questions for us, whether it's about baseball, personally, otherwise, whatever, I don't care what it is.
I don't care what it is either.
Go ahead and send it our way, and we'll answer it. We'll talk about it, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast. So thanks again for joining us this week, baseball family, and we will catch you on Thursday.